And good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to Newman Catholic High School softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Today, it is a Merrillwood Conference South Division matchup as the Cardinals play host to the Auburndale Eagles. From the Sunnyvale softball complex in Wausau, I'm Chad Holmes. Newman Catholic comes in 1-1 on the season. A couple of high-scoring affairs last week. Well, Auburndale, always a very solid team in the Merrillwood South, is 3-1. Of course, last night and early today, got plenty of rain here in the central Wisconsin area. However, we're very happy to report that the field looks to be in good condition. However, in the last couple of minutes, a little bit of light rain has started to fall, but I don't expect it to be anything that causes any issue in terms of this afternoon's game. Newman Catholic will face Auburndale twice this week, here today in Wausau. Then they will travel on Friday over to Auburndale for the second matchup. Again, these games within the Merrillwood South, you play home and home during the course of the same week. Coming up, we are going to have a look at the starting lineups for today's game, but coming up next, we'll have our pregame conversation with the head coach of the Newman Catholic Cardinals, Steve Jankowski. We'll get you then ready to go. Glad you can be with us. It's Newman and Auburndale High School Softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. And our broadcast is brought to you by the Cloverbelt Credit Union.
Start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
Newman Catholic High School softball continues on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. This afternoon, the Newman Cardinals take on the Auburndale Eagles in a Merrillwood Conference South Division matchup. I'm Chad Holmes, joined by head coach Steve Jankowski. And coach, another year, get a chance to come by, see your team in action. 2 games under your belt. I was talking to your scoreboard operator. Scoreboard operators had some work to do the first couple of games of the season, haven't they?
They definitely have. Maddie coming back at pitching. She's doing a lot. She's a sophomore, so she's doing a lot better than last year as a freshman, and she's picking it up. But the defense definitely has to work, and those are some high-scoring games.
Let's talk about your bats, because the first game, nice, has to be good. Come from behind, have the walk-off win, and be able to get that nice W to start things off. Even in the loss against Athens, you were able to score, 5 runs, which is not a bad number. I mean, 6 innings. Swinging the bat. I know that Molly Merrill's had some big hits early, but generally, who do you look at for your bats? Start with Molly Merrill.
Molly Merrill, she's just been crushing the ball. That walk-off, it was we were down by 1 run, and so she hit a ball, one hop the fence, and scored the run to put us ahead. So that was huge. And then in the game against Athens on Friday, she hit a 2-run home run. So that was great. That's her first home run since freshman year and in Stratford. And she's. Her stick is working really well so far this year. Maddie Keene is another big hitter. And then we've had some people that worked in the off-season really hard. Anna Carlson, she was our top hitter on Thursday, and a couple other girls too. They're swinging the bat hard, and another year under their belt. We don't have. Oddly, we don't have any freshmen this year, so everybody that is out is their second or third or fourth year here, and we're not grooming any freshmen.
Well, and that's got to be nice for you, because obviously the last couple of years you've been having to maybe learn on the fly for a lot of these girls. They're getting thrown out there because numbers-wise, it's not been, huge numbers for your program. It's got to be nice to have those girls, because I know in talking to you over the years that the game of softball is important. Being able to do the right things in the right situations. For you as a coach, that has to make things a little bit easier this season, doesn't it?
Oh, for sure. And then, like yesterday, well, after every game, you brush the dirt off your uniform, you figure out what went wrong, and then you go and fix it. So we had a great practice yesterday, and Coach Splitter for the middle school team, he's practicing right behind us here, and he has 18 girls in the middle school program. So that is some great numbers coming up, and it's great when they get here and they already know the system. They know. They're ready to jump in and be productive on day one, which is super nice.
One of the challenges that Newman Catholic has in a number of sports is participating in a very good conference, the Merriwood South. The advantage is when you get to the postseason, you've been challenged, probably in a way that the teams that you were competing against have not, but that's a long way off. Now you got to start the challenge of playing in the Merriwood South. I know that today's going to be a challenge, but generally your conference, is it going to be, again, one of those huge challenges this year?
The Merriwood Conference always seems to be historically tough. I'm thinking back like to last year. I want to say that was there 4 teams from the Merriwood that won regional championships and were onto sectionals, if my memory serves me correctly. But anyway, it's going to be tough. It's always a dogfight. We got a couple non-conference games. We played Elko, so it's nice to see 2 teams early in the season before we jump on for a conference game like we have today. So we've at least got our feet wet a little bit before we we see a conference rival here at Auburndale.
And what about Auburndale? What's maybe a thumbnail scouting report on the Auburndale squad?
Well, the Griesbach pitcher is great kid, and she's just tough. She puts the ball wherever she wants, and she throws hard. If we can put the sticks on the ball against her, I think we have a good chance of getting the win. But we have to be swinging.
Coach Steve Jankowski, good luck today. Good luck throughout the season.
Appreciate it, Chad. Thanks for being here.
Absolutely. Coach Jankowski of the Cards. We'll come back, have a look at the starting lineups, and have the first pitch coming up next. This is Newman Catholic High School softball on Wausau Area Sports. Wausau Area Sports is more than play-by-play broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Go to wausauareasports.com for the latest news and information involving our high school sports teams, including Wausau West, Newman Catholic, DC Everest, Wausau East, Marathon, Mosinee, and more. It's all at wausauareasports.com. Also, you can contact us there. If you have story ideas or questions, just go to wausauareasports.com and to the contact section. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the latest information on where we are and what we're covering. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you miss none of the action. Wausau Area Sports on YouTube, at wausauareasports.com, on Facebook and Instagram. The Wausau area's newest source for information and play-by-play of high school sports. Wausau Area Sports.
I'll be here to hear what's on your mind. Take this time to talk and get it right. You know I'll be there all your life. When you need me, I'll be by your side. By your side. And every day is a different day. Everything isn't everything. Even when you think things could never ever be the same. Don't be scared of the world, I'll be here to stay. By your side. Even when your heart ain't listening, or your mind takes you a different way, towards a different path. All you gotta do is sit and ask. When you need me, I'll be by your side.
When the adults in a child's life talk early and often about the dangers of underage drinking, the message gets stronger every time.
I'll be by your side.
Talk. They hear you.
And Chad Holmes back again from Sunnyvale Softball Complex as we're nearly set to go for the Newman Catholic Cardinals and the Auburndale Eagles Merrillwood Conference South Division action. Let's take a look at the starting lineups for today's game. First of all, for the visitors from Auburndale, leading things off is their starting pitcher Morgan Griesbach. Breely Grimm is the shortstop. She'll bat second. Danica Blomberg will bat third and play catcher. Maya Katzenberger is the cleanup hitter. She'll play third base. Batting fifth and playing center field, Chesney Nagel. Batting in the number 6 position and in left field is Jalen Shearer. Batting seventh and at second base is Dalen Blomberg. Grace Schulte is in right field batting 8th, and Brenna Thiel is the designated player hitting 9th. Lily Bellanti is the first baseman. She is the flex player today for Auburndale. Again, for Auburndale, Morgan Griesbach, Breely Grimm, Danica Blomberg, Maya Katzenberger, Chesney Nagel, Jalen Shearer, Dalen Blomberg, Grace Schulte, and Brenna Thiel. Dawn Urban is the coach of Auburndale. For the Newman Catholic Cardinals, leading things off is the pitcher, Maddie Jankowski. Brianna Schultz is at catcher, batting second. Maddie Keene will be at third base, batting third. Molly Merrill, the cleanup hitter, plays first base. Claire Bodenheimer is at second base, hitting 5th. Batting 6th, starting in center field, is Lillian Bodenheimer. Addison France in left field, bats 7th. Anna Carlson is the catcher. Anna Carlson is in right field, hitting 8th. And Brooke Thiel is at shortstop, hitting 9th. So again, for the Newman Catholic Cardinals, Maddie Jankowski, Brianna Schultz, Maddie Keene, Molly Merrill, Claire Bodenheimer, Lillian Bodenheimer, Addison France, Anna Carlson, and Brooke Thiel. Head coach of the Cardinals is Steve Jankowski. We will take a final break and then come back with the first pitch. It is Newman Catholic Cardinal Softball on Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Good afternoon, softball fans, and welcome to Sunnyvale Park, home of your Lady Cardinals. Today's Merrillwood Girls Varsity Softball match.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for kids, teens, or young adults. It's just not.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals and volatile organic compounds into your body.
And nicotine, the same highly addictive substance found in regular cigarettes.
Nicotine can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
Affecting learning, memory, attention, and impulse control, and priming the brain for other addictions.
Vaping products also come in kid-friendly flavors that can make them appealing to youth.
And many kids also use other drugs, like marijuana, in vaping devices.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media,
many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping, because when you talk, they hear you.
And Chad Holmes again here from Sunnyvale Softball Complex as we are nearly set to go for this Merriwood Conference South Division matchup between the Newman Catholic Cardinals and the Auburndale Eagles.
Batting sixth in left field, number 2, Jalen Scher.
Again, just a few light
Playing second base, number 9, Dalen
pieces of rain. And with the new video equipment, you have to make sure to stay as dry as possible. Not me, but the equipment. So again, trying to make sure everything is A-okay here. Brought the umbrella even for a couple of light raindrops. But again, glad you could be with us. Our first ever Newman Catholic High School broadcast here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. And something that I've been saying early on here that we're just underway. There will be a few bumps in the road. Going to fix all of these out, make sure we get all these pitfalls out of the way as quickly as possible. But hopefully everything will be very smooth and we'll be able to have a terrific broadcast here from Newman Catholic's home field here at Sunnyvale Softball Complex. In fact, today we kind of had to switch our broadcast schedule. We originally were set to have Newman and Auburndale on Friday from Auburndale in the second meeting of the week. As today we were scheduled to be over at Simon Field at DC Everest as the Wausau West Warrior baseball team was set to take on DC Everest. However, because of the heavy rains that occurred last night and overnight, that game was postponed very early this morning. It's been rescheduled for Friday. So instead of having Newman and Auburndale in softball on Friday, we're having it here today. And we'll have on Friday Wausau West at DC Everest in high school baseball. Our next broadcast is a different kind of broadcast tomorrow, as it is the signing day over at Wausau West tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. And we will have a live stream of that here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel at 10 a.m. tomorrow morning. Then on Thursday, more high school softball, as we will have the Wausau West Warriors in action against DC Everest. I'll be at Wausau West High School for that one on Thursday, West and Everest. 4:15 for the pregame, 4:30 for the first pitch. And then on Friday, Wausau West at DC Everest in high school baseball, starting with the pregame again at 4:15, I should say at 4:45, and the first pitch at 5 p.m. So that's still to come this week, our broadcast here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Taking a look at the Newman Catholic defense as the Cardinals, the home team, out onto the field. Addison France in left field, Lillian Bodenheimer in center, Anna Carlson in right. You got Maddie Keene at third base, Brooke Thiel at shortstop, Claire Bodenheimer at second base, Molly Merrill is at first, Brianna Schultz is the catcher, and Maddie Jankowski in the circle. For Auburndale in the top of the first inning, they'll have Morgan Griesbach, followed by Braley Grimm, and then Danica Blomberg. There's the throw down to second. Getting a little bit darker here. I think some rain is moving into the area, so hopefully nothing too heavy. But again, glad you could be with us here, and brought to you by the Clover Belt Credit Union. So Morgan Griesbach, the starting pitcher, will lead things off for the Eagles.
Leading off, number 11, Morgan Griesbach.
Morgan Griesbach hitting .250 so far this season. Has 3 home runs, however. Actually, no, it does not. It has 5 runs batted in. First pitch off the outside corner for ball 1. Hands up near the right ear hole as Griesbach waits. Maddie Jankowski deals. Misses outside off the edge of the middle, Brianna Schultz, and the count goes to 2-0. But it has gotten a little bit darker here in the last few minutes at Sunnyvale. Jankowski's ready. Here's the wind and the pitch. There's a line drive into left field for a base hit. Well hit ball by Morgan Griesbach to get things underway for the Eagles. And that will bring up their number 2 hitter, the shortstop, Braley Grimm.
Now batting, number 7, Braley Grimm.
Grimm in the first 4 games of the season If the first pitch is in there for strike one. Has not had a base hit so far. 0-1 pitch. Runner on the move. Pitch taken up high. Throw is down to second, and sliding in safely with the stolen base is Morgan Griesbach. Count evens up at 1-1. Grimm with a runner in scoring position. Here's the pitch. Ground ball up the middle into right center field for a base hit. Rounding third and coming in to score will be Griesbach. It's an RBI single for Breely Grimm, and Auburndale takes a 1-0 lead.
Now batting number 3, Danica Blumberg.
Up next, number 3 hitter, the catcher Danica Blomberg. Jankowski, fastball just off the inside corner for ball 1. Columbia blue jerseys, red pinstripes, red numerals outlined in white for the Cardinals, and black pants. All dark blue, as you can see with Auburndale. White numerals and white trim. Pitches up out of the zone for a ball. Runner on the move, throw it down to second, and sliding in out at second base is Grimm. Claire Bodenheimer makes a nice grab and the tag. And now the third base coach, Don Urban, wants to have a word with the home plate umpire. Now the home plate umpire is going to walk out and have a word with the base umpire. The coach says that the tag came up high near the shoulder and that the foot was on the bag when the tag came. But the base umpire looks like he's trying to explain where he saw the tag and where the foot was on the runner, Grimm. And that will be the first out of the inning. Caught stealing for Grimm. But there's a nice grab and a nice quick tag there by Claire Bodenheimer for the Cards. So runners off the bases, 1 out. 2 balls and no strikes to Danica Blomberg. Maddie Jankowski, again, still a very young hurler for the Cards, but already experienced. There's a good fastball right down the chute, taken for strike 1. Was the Cardinals pitcher as a freshman, now back at it here as a sophomore. The right-hander stares in. Here's the pitch. There's a roller third base side, pull foul, and the count evens up at 2-2. Cardinals had a thrilling win over Elko in their season opener last Tuesday, 13-12. They had led throughout the game. Elko scored 3 times in the top of the 7th to take a 2-run lead, but then the Cardinals came back and scored 3 times in the bottom of the inning to get the W. There's a fastball that rises up and out of the strike zone. Count runs full, 3-2. And then on Thursday of last week, the Cards fell to Athens here at Sunnyvale, 16-5. Payoff pitch is up and outside, and that's ball 4. Base on balls to Blomberg, and that will bring up their cleanup hitter, third baseman Maya Katzenberger.
Now batting number 13, Maya Katzenberger.
Another right-handed batter for the Eagles. Here's the pitch. There's a ground ball off the mid of the pitcher, Jankowski, and all hands will be safe. Went off the edge of the mid in the circle of Maddie Jankowski, deflected it towards the third base side. That'll be an infield single for Katzenberger, put runners on first and second with 1 out for their center fielder and number 5 hitter, Chesney Nagel. Third base hit of the inning for the Eagles. Pitch is just off the inside corner, taken for ball 1. Runner waits on first. Maddie Jankowski has the target. Here's the pitch. Bounces in there, gets away from Brianna Schultz, and that will be a wild pitch. Advancing to second is Maya Katzenberger on the play. 2 balls and no strikes on Nagel. Another runner in scoring position now for the Eagles with 1 out. Pitch is a rising fastball up and out of the zone. Count goes to 3-0. Jalen Scher, the left fielder, in the on-deck circle for Auburndale. Towing the pitcher's rubber is Maddie Jankowski. The right-hander winds and deals. Just missing. Very close pitch, but off the outside corner. So a base on balls to Nagel. Puts runners on first and second with one out.
Now batting number 2, Jalen Scher.
And Jalen Scher, left fielder, now steps in. And the pitch gets away again from Brianna Schultz, coming in to score. In fact, the bases were loaded. My mistake there. The bases were loaded on first and second. Wild pitch does allow Danica Blomberg to come in and score and make it 2-0 Auburndale with the lead. So now runners on second and third with one out. 1 ball and no strikes on Scher. Pitch is off the inside corner, looking, well, at least squaring to bunt was Scher. Bought the bat back, and the count goes to 2-0. Runners wait on second and third. Long staring for the right-hander. Here's the pitch. There's a fastball right down the chute for a called strike 1. Outfield playing straight away. Addison France in left, Lillian Bodenheimer in center, Anna Carlson in right for Newman. Corner infielders pinching just in front of the bags. Keene at third and Merrill at first. There's a bunt attempt, but coming up empty is Jalen Scher, and the count now 2-2. Two balls, 2 strikes, 1 out. Jankowski to the plate. Off the inside corner, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Dalen Blomberg in the on-deck circle for the Eagles. Towing the rubber, looking in at the mid of her catcher, Brianna Schultz, is Jankowski. Here's the payoff swing and a miss. Ball is dropped, throw to first. Now breaking from third and coming in to score will be Katzenberger. That was good base running by Katzenberger. She realized the ball hit the ground. That forced Brianna Schultz to fire to Merrill at first. And a good jump off at third allows Katzenberger to score and make it 3-0. That is, however, strikeout number 1 for Maddie Jankowski, the second out of the inning. Runner on third, 2 outs for Dalen Blomberg. Here's Jankowski to the plate. There's a chopper, third base side, knocked down by Keene. She'll pick, she'll fire across in time. 5-3 on the putout, and that will do it for the Eagles in the first inning. 3 runs scored, 3 runs on 3 base hits. There were no Cardinal errors and 1 runner left on base. And a 1/2 inning here from Sunnyvale Softball Complex. It is Auburndale 3, Cardinals coming to the plate. This is Newman Catholic High School Softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
And Chad Holmes again here from Sunnyvale. The Cards come to the plate for the first time. Bottom of the first inning, 3 spot for Auburndale. In the top of the inning, 3-0 Eagles. For the Cards will be Maddie Jankowski, Brianna Schultz, and Maddie Keene.
Leading off for Newman, number 10, Maddie Jankowski.
Morgan Griesbach in the circle. Very good pitcher for Auburndale. Saw Coach Jankowski at Cabin Fever, the Newman Catholic fundraiser on Saturday. We were talking a little bit about Griesbach. Quite a story. So Maddie Jankowski, leadoff hitter for the Cards. Good fastball, pops into the middle of her catcher, Danica Blomberg, but misses off the outside corner for ball 1. We'll give you the Auburndale defense coming up here in just a moment. Number 10 on the back of the jersey for Maddie Jankowski. There's a foul ball. Third base side out of play. Count 1-1. Outfield D for the Eagles. Jalen Scher is in left field. Chesney Nagel in center. Ray Schulte in right. Give you the infield D after the next pitch. Well, one thing the Cards have been able to do in the first couple of games is score quite a few runs. 13 in the first game and then 5 more in their second game. So still early. There's a hard hit grounder. Knocked down as short by Braley Grimm. She'll fire across. Not in time. Well hit ball by Jankowski, but still a play that really should have been made. So I'm unofficial here, but in my book, it's going to have to be an error on the shortstop. Well hit ball, but the Cardinals have their leadoff player on base.
Now batting for Newman, number 6, Brianna Schultz.
And that will bring up Brianna Schultz, the catcher, and number 2 hitter. A couple of good cuts there in that at-bat for Jankowski. Morgan Griesbach to the plate. Swing and a miss. Strike 1. Infield D for Auburndale. Maya Katzenberger is at third. Braley Grimm at short. Dalen Blomberg at second. Lily Belanti at first. Danica Blomberg is the catcher for Morgan Griesbach. No balls and 1 strike. Here's the pitch. There's a line drive, but right to the second baseman. Blomberg fires the first in time for a double play. Boy, hitting it right on the screws was Brianna Schultz, but right to the second baseman, Dalen Blomberg, and getting caught off the bag is Jankowski for a twin killing.
13, Maddie Keene.
So 2 outs, nobody on base for the Cards, and Maddie Keene, who's off to a very good start in the batter's box, will step in. There's a pop-up over the top of the backstop and out of play. Strike 1. But Maddie Keene has been swinging a very hot bat early on for Newman Catholic. .571 batting average early, 4 hits in 7 at-bats. 0-1. Here's Griesbach to the plate. Line drive into right field for a base hit. Chasing it down is Grace Schulte. Rounding first and staying right there is Maddie Keene. Boy, 3 batters and 3 well-hit balls for the Cardinals. Runner on first and 2 outs for Molly Merrill.
Now for Newman, number 11, Molly Merrill.
Molly Merrill's been swinging a big bat, as we talked about with the coach in the pregame interview. 4 hits and 7 at-bats. She has hit a home run and has 4 RBI. Fastball. Taken for strike. Runner on the move. Throw to second. It goes into center field. But a stolen base for Keene as she stays right there. So a runner in scoring position. Merrill had the big walk-off hit in their season-opening win over Elko, and then also had a home run in the game last week against Athens. 0-1. Morgan Griesbach to the plate. Swing and a miss. Challenging a dangerous hitter with a fastball. That time Griesbach won the battle. Looking for the 2-out RBI hit. 0-2. Just missing. That's a good 2-strike pitch by Griesbach. Just missing off the outside corner a tad. Wow, that was a perfect 2-strike pitch and a good eye at the plate by Molly Merrill as well. 1-2. There's a ground ball off the middle of the pitcher. Griesbach charged by Blomberg. Flips to first and just in get Merrill by about half a step. Cardinals hit the ball well in the first inning, but not able to get anything across. No runs on 1 base hit. There was 1 error and 1 runner left on base. 1-4-3 official scoring on that final ground ball. But end of 1. It is Auburndale 3, Newman Catholic nothing. This is Newman Catholic High School softball on Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Wausau Area Sports is more than play-by-play broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Go to wausauareasports.com for the latest news and information involving our high school sports teams, including Wausau West, Newman Catholic, DC Everest, Wausau East, Marathon, Mosinee, and more. It's all at wausauareasports.com. Also, you can contact us there. If you have story ideas or questions, just go to wausauareasports.com and to the contact section. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the latest information on where we are and what we're covering. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you miss none of the action. Wausau Area Sports on YouTube, at WausauAreaSports.com, on Facebook and Instagram. The Wausau Area's newest source for information and play-by-play of high school sports. Wausau Area Sports. Chad Holmes again from Sunnyvale Softball Complex as we head to the top of the second inning. Auburndale 3, Newman Catholic nothing. Maddie Jankowski finishing up her warm-up pitches. It'll be the 8, 9, and 1 hitters for the Eagles. Grace Schulte, Brenna Thiel, and then top of the order, and Morgan Griesbach.
Leading off for the Eagles, number 6, Grace Schulte.
So Grace Schulte, left-handed swinger, will head into the box here for the Eagles. Maddie Jankowski towing the rubber. Here's the pitch, and that will miss for ball 1. Cloverville Credit Union, since 1936, local lenders lending local money, keeping our community strong. Now open in Mosinee. Visit CCU's new branch in the Bateman Professional Building across from the Mosinee Airport. 1-0, misses low and outside for ball 2. Well, early on, Jankowski falling behind on these hitters, and that is not where you want to be against a good hitting team like Auburndale. They've scored quite a few runs here early in the season in their 3-1 start. Pitch misses outside, ball 3. Auburndale started their season off playing some games up in the Hodag Dome. They beat Hayward 10-1 and also beat Menominee 11-0. They lost to Medford 15-6 in their last game. They topped Colby 15-0. Pitch is on the outer portion of the plate for strike 1 called. 3 balls and 1 strike. Very solid softball program for the Great Northern Conference. Only blemish so far for Auburndale. 3-1. Just off the outside corner, and that is ball 4. So Schulte earns a base on balls to start off the top of the second inning.
Number 12, Brenna Thiel.
And Brenna Thiel, designated player, number 12, will step into the right-handed batter's box. Boy, tough miss that time as Jankowski just off the inside corner, trying to frame it behind the plate as well, was Brianna Schultz, but kind of tough here, right? Close pitches, not getting the call for Jankowski. Misses low and inside for ball 2. So 2-0 here on Thiel. Overcast, but it's nice to feel the temperature into the 60s. Foul tip at the plate, and that's strike 1. Last couple of days, yes, been very wet, but again, it's great to have some of this warmer weather finally move in. Two balls and a strike. There's a good pitch right on the inner portion at the knees for strike 2 called. 2 balls and 2 strikes on Brenna Thiel. Runner on first, nobody out. Top of the second inning, and a 3-0 lead for Auburndale. Up over the top of Brianna Schultz, right to the backstop in front of us, and that is a wild pitch, allowing Grace Schulte to advance 60 feet to second base. That is 3 balls and 2 strikes, so I think that Thiel's going to have to come on back. 3 balls and 2 strikes, yep. We know that the folks here are right on top of it, and I felt like it was 3-2 as well. So, payoff pitch coming up from Jankowski to Brenna Thiel. Here's the wind and the delivery. Low and inside, and for the second time, Thiel will drop her bat and head to first base. So first and second here for the Eagles.
Number 11, Morgan Griesbach.
Back to the top of the order, and Morgan Griesbach. Pitch is into the dirt, bounces to the backstop, and that will allow the runners to advance to third and second respectively. Time is called, and Coach Steve Jankowski will head out have a word with the infield. Give us a chance to remind you that if you have not had a chance to do so, check out our new website, WauSaAreaSports.com. We'll have a write-up of this game and other action in Central Wisconsin Wausau area high school sports. Again, go to WauSaAreaSports.com for the latest high school sports news from the Wausau area. Also, again, if you have not already, at YouTube.com and the Wausau Area Sports channel, subscribe. That way you won't miss any of the action. And plus, as well, at WauSaAreaSports.com, there is a updated listing of our upcoming broadcasts for the rest of this month. So again, go to WauSaAreaSports.com, get the upcoming broadcast schedule and the latest Wausau High School sports news as well, WauSaAreaSports.com. And now Morgan Griesbach, who singled and scored a run in the first, will step to the plate. Here's the pitch. A little bit up and out of the strike zone for ball one. Really tracked that pitch. It went past her, but she was watching it right into the middle of the catcher. That's always a sign of a good hitter. Ground ball fair down the third base side. That's going to score a couple of runs. He'll be chased down in foul territory by Addison France. Fire it into third base. A 2 RBI double for Morgan Griesbach, and that makes the score 5-0. Just inside the bag down the third base side. Nothing Maddie Keene could do.
Now batting number 7, Braylee Grimm.
Up next for the Eagles is their shortstop, Braylee Grimm. Grimm had a single, an RBI single her first time up, and then was caught stealing. Tall right-handed from the right-hand side of the batter's box. Jankowski's pitch is on the outside corner for strike one called. Jankowski 0-1. There's a little roller. Charging is Keene. She'll pick. She'll fire across in time. A runner will break the third. The throw is a little bit late. Nice play made at third base. Charging, making a nice clean pick and a fire across by Keene. 5-3 on the putout.
Batting number 3, Danica Blomberg.
One out, runner on third for the catcher and number 3 hitter, Danica Blomberg. Strikeout pop-up. Adam ball would be important here for the Cards. Bounces into the dirt, goes to the backstop. Runner will break, and coming in to score is Goddard, the courtesy runner for Griesbach, to make it 6-0. So base is now empty. 1 ball and no strikes on Blomberg, who walked and scored a run in the first. Two and nothing. Just off the outside corner. Again, trying to keep it right on the corner was the catcher, Brianna Schultz, but just off by an inch or so. And the count goes to 3-0. Here's the rock and the pitch. There is a fastball right down the chute. Strike one called. Towing the rubber, sophomore right-hander Maddie Jankowski. She rocks, deals. Low and inside, and that's ball 4. So a 1-out walk to Blomberg. We'll get a courtesy runner for the catcher.
Now batting number 13, Maya Katzenberger.
That is the 5th walk, and again, that's good hitters, but at the same time, giving the free passes makes things difficult for the Cards. So runner on first, and the courtesy runner will be Alana Cherney. As Maya Katzenberger, cleanup hitter, will step in for the Eagles. Pitch is into the dirt. Nice scoop behind the dish by Brianna Schultz. Saves a wild pitch, ball 1. Doing a little manicuring around the pitcher's rubber is Jankowski. Now she'll fire it. Pitch is fouled off in front of the third base dugout. Evens things up at 1-1. Well, dark, but no precipitation coming down right now. That is the good news. Katzenberger waits, 1-1. There's a roller, third base side, picked up by Keene. She'll go to second for one, and there is Claire Bodenheimer making the grab and getting the force out. So 5-4 on the putout. Fielder's choice for Katzenberger. Now 2 outs in the inning.
Number 5, Chesney Nagel.
And that will bring up Chesney Nagel, the center fielder and number 5 hitter for Auburndale. Right-handed batter. Jankowski's pitch, another roller, third base side, goes just foul. Picked up a couple of inches foul by Maddie Keene. Strike one. Stepping back in is Nagel. She walked her first time up. Jankowski's pitch. Fouls it off her foot. That's a foul ball. Running it out is Nagel, picked up by Jankowski. Fired to first. It was in time, but it did bounce off the front foot of the hitter. And that'll be strike 2. But nobody can assume. I was doing a game last week, a baseball game, where it felt like it was an obvious call. I was up in the press box at Wausau West for a baseball game. Went off the foot, rolled into fair territory, was picked up by the pitcher. The batter was hopping up and down. They threw it to first, and the umpires got together and said they didn't think it was off the foot, and it was an out. Pitch scoots to the backstop, and that will allow Katzenberger to go to second base on the wild pitch. That puts a runner in scoring position now with 2 outs for the Eagles. 1 ball and 2 strikes on Chesney Nagel. Maddie Jankowski winds and deals. Off the inside corner, taken for ball 2. Three in the first for the Eagles, 3 so far here in the second. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, runner on second. 2s are wild. And the pitch. There's a chopper again, foul ball. So 2-2. Jalen Shear, the 6th place hitter and left fielder, would hit next for Auburndale. We heard in the pregame about how tough the Merriwood South always is. It's really no weak touches at all this conference. 2-2. Just a little bit up, and the count runs full. 3 balls and 2 strikes. Got perennial power Assumption. You have Auburndale. You have an always good marathon program that had a good run last season. 3-2. Off the end of the middle, it's called strike 3. Picked up by Schultz. She'll fire to first. Not in time. Rounding third and coming in to score will be Katzenberger. That will be a strikeout. But, again, ball hit the ground, so that means they have to go and pick it up. Nagel able to beat it out, and it's now 7-0.
Now batting number 2, Jalen Scher.
So with 2 outs, runner on first, Jalen Scher will now step in for Auburndale. Here's the pitch. Going for the bunt, missing. Now breaking and getting into second without a throw is Nagel. 0-1. Shear is 0 for 1. She was a strikeout victim in the first. Staring in, getting the target is Jankowski. Here's Maddie's pitch. There's a chopper, third base side foul. Right kick save made by Coach Don Urban in the third base coach's box for Auburndale. Brianna Schultz again setting the target. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Strike 3. And that will do it for the Eagles in the third inning. Auburndale does score 4 times. 4 runs on just 1 base hit and a runner left on base. End of 1.5. It is Auburndale 7, Newman Catholic nothing. This is Cardinal Softball on Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Check it out.
Alcoholics Anonymous. We're here to help.
We're about to start the meeting. Welcome to anyone new.
For more information, visit aa.org and download the Meeting Guide app.
Claire Bodenheimer leading things off for the Cards here in the bottom of the second inning. Morgan Griesbach fires. Swing and a miss on a fastball just below the belt for strike one. Claire Bodenheimer, Lillian Bodenheimer, and Addison France, the 5, 6, and 7 hitters in Steve Jankowski's batting order. The right-hander rocks and deals. Fastball runs a little bit low, even things up at 1-1. Taking a little stroll behind the pitcher's rubber is Morgan Griesbach. Now she's ready. 1-1. Swing and a miss. Boy, some pretty good giddy up on that fastball. Just a tad tardy was Claire Bodenheimer, and the count goes to 1-2. The right-handed batter waits. Number 5 on the back of the jersey for Claire. Morgan Griesbach to the plate. Fastball misses the outside corner, even things up at 2-2. Also in softball today, Wausau West is down in Wisconsin Rapids in a Wisconsin Valley Conference game. We'll have Wausau West against DC Everest in softball on Thursday, the second conference game for the Warriors. 2-2. Strike 3 called right on the inner portion of the plate at the belt. First strikeout of the game for Morgan Griesbach in the first out of the inning.
Now batting for Newman, number 3, Lillian Bodenheimer.
That will bring up Lillian Bodenheimer, the Cardinal center fielder and number 6 hitter. Left-handed batter. Here's Griesbach's pitch. Fastball pops into the mid of catcher Danica Blomberg for strike 1 called. Yelling out the code from the third base side. Oh, 1. Foul tip at the plate, and that's strike 2. Again, very excited to be here for the Cardinal. Haven't already, please subscribe to the channel. That will make me very happy. So again, at our YouTube channel, please subscribe. Here's the 0-2. Swing and a miss. Another good fastball from Griesbach, and that's the second out of the inning.
Now batting, number 4, Addie France.
Now the Cardinal left fielder. The right-hander Griesbach to the plate. Swing and a miss. Boy, Griesbach not the biggest player. Again, sometimes you'll see these pitchers, whether at the high school or the college level, it's got a little bit of size, and that helps them. But, boy, there's a ground ball towards second base. Blomberg will pick. She'll underhand to first in time, and that will do it for the Cards in the second inning. 3 up and 3 down for Newman Catholic. End of 2. It is Auburndale 7, Newman Catholic nothing. This is Cardinal Softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. We're going to keep it right here because I want to remind you about Clover Belt Credit Union. Clover Belt Credit Union is our presenting sponsor for today's game. Thanks to CCU for their support of this broadcast and all of our broadcasts during the spring sports season here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Clover Belt Credit Union since 1936. Local lenders lending local money, keeping our community strong. Now open in Mosinee. Visit CCU's new branch in the Bayman Professional Building across from the Mosinee Airport. Reminder that coming up tomorrow morning, 10 a.m., join us here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. I'll be at Wausau West High School. It's the signing day. There are 8 Wausau West student athletes that will be making their announcement with their families on where they're going to college and continuing their athletic endeavors. And very happy to go over to Wausau West tomorrow and bring live coverage of that. So again, tune in tomorrow at 10 a.m. From Wausau West for the signing ceremony for those Wausau West 8 student athletes. And that's something we're going to try to do a lot of. Different ancillary programming in addition to our coverage of play-by-play, to do different kinds of programs, have interviews, and do a lot as we develop this new project. So again, if you are somebody that likes what we're doing, cannot do it without support. So please go to WausauAreaSports.com, go to the contact section, reach out, and I can get you some information on how to become a sponsor of our broadcast of Wausau Sports here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
For the Eagles, number 9, Dalen Blomberg.
Again, that's WausauAreaSports.com. Go to the contact area to send me your information. I'll reach out to you then and be able to get you more information on becoming a supporter of our channel, because without your support, cannot make this work. First pitch from Jankowski is in there for strike 1 to Dalen Blomberg, the number 7 hitter in the Auburndale order. No balls and 1 strike. And there's a line drive into left field for a base hit. So a leadoff single for Blomberg to start off the 3rd inning for the Eagles.
Now batting number 6, Grace Schulte.
Now the number 8 hitter, right fielder Grace Schulte. Schulte is walked and scored a run her first time up. Left-handed batter. Pitches up and out of the strike zone for ball 1. Still have these radio habits. I tell you, she's a left-handed hitter because used to not be able to see it. Now you can actually see it on the screen. Pitch is low and outside. It will be scooped up by Brianna Schultz, and that is ball 2. For all those years, you could hear my voice but not see it, and now we're combining the two. 2 balls and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Just off the outside corner, and that's ball 3. Open stance. Waiting is Schulte. Target is set by Brianna Schultz, and 3-0 pitch. There's a ground ball right back to the pitcher, Jankowski. Fires the first. Takes the out on the batter. Advancing 60 feet to second base is Blomberg. 1-3 on the putout.
Now batting number 12, Brenna Thiel.
Interesting to see the number 8 hitter in the batting order get a green light, 3-0. And now Brenna Thiel, the number 9 hitter, pitches in at the bottom of the strike zone for strike 1 called. Right-handed batter, she walked and scored in the first as well. Fastball right down the chute for strike 2 called. Balls and 2 strikes. 1 out, runner on second. Top of the 3rd inning, 7-0 Auburndale. 0-2. Inside, and it got a piece of the batter. Those 0-2 pitches, you don't want to put one right down the chute. Maybe try to get a batter to go after one out of the zone. That one was away out of the zone. Almost got behind Thiel.
Now batting number 11, Morgan Griesbach.
First and second, 1 out for the top of the order, and Morgan Griesbach. Griesbach 2 for 2. A single, a double, 2 runs scored, and a pair of RBI. Ground ball, third base side, taken there by Keene. Goes to the bag for 1. On to first, not in time. Good play again. Boy, Maddie Keene has been rock solid at the hot corner for the Cardinals. So a fielder's choice for Griesbach. Runners remain on first and second. 2. Grimm singled, had an RBI in the first, grounded out to third base, and Maddie Keene in the second. So trying to get out of a inning. Nothing across is the right-handed sophomore stares in. She's ready. Here's the pitch. Line drive past Keene into left field for a base hit. Runner around third. Here comes the throw to the plate. Not in time. An RBI single, her second RBI hit of the game for Braylee Grimm, and it's now 8-0 Eagles.
Batting for the Eagles, number 3, Danica Blomberg.
Just out of the reach of Maddie Keene at third base. That was a well-hit ball, but just a little too well-hit because Keene tried to get that mitt up there, and it just probably a couple of inches away from the edge of her glove. Danica Blomberg now steps in. There's a good pitch on the inner portion for strike one called. Blomberg walked and scored in the first, walked again in the second. Runners on second and first wait. Jankowski to the plate. Chopper foul third base side. Count goes to 0-2. So jumping ahead again is Jankowski, 0-2. Number 3 hitter in the Auburndale batting order. Jankowski again is moving a little of the wet dirt around the pitcher's rubber. Now she's ready. Here's the pitch. Pulled foul down the third base side. We'll do it again at 0-2. Don't forget as well, if you miss any of our broadcasts on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel, they're still there. You can go back and watch at your convenience. So again, that's one more reason to become a subscriber at Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Pitch is up and out of the strike zone for ball one. Lots of action as well during the course of our spring sports season. Our first season here for Wausau Area Sports coverage. Off the outside corner, trying to again frame it, was Brianna Schultz, and the count evens up at 2-2. Twos across the board. 2 balls, 2 strikes, 2 outs, 2 runners on base. Here's the pitch. Ground ball right to the third baseman Keene. She'll pick, she'll go to the bag in time, and that will do it for the Eagles in the top of the third inning. So another good play at the hot corner made by Maddie Keene. Fielder's choice for Blomberg. For the Eagles in the third, 1 run on 2 base hits. There were no Cardinal errors and a pair of runners left on base. And a 2.5. It is Auburndale 8, Newman Catholic nothing. This is Newman Catholic High School softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
Cardinals, number 8, Anna Carlson.
Newman Catholic coming to the plate in the bottom of the third inning. Anna Carlson, the right fielder, number 8 hitter, will step in against Morgan Griesbach. 8-0 Auburndale with the lead. 8-9-1 hitters for the Cards. Griesbach to the plate. Fastball runs up and out of the strike zone for ball one. Anna Carlson off to a good start. 3 hits and 7 at-bats in the first 2 games for the Cards. A couple of RBI. And there's a swing and a miss, even things up at 1-1. Cardinals scored 13 in their first game and then added 5 in their second game. But today facing one of the top pitchers in the Merriwood South, Morgan Griesbach. 1-1. Swing and a miss, strike 2. Right-handed batter, hands up near the right ear hole as she waits. Griesbach is ready, rocks and deals. Swing and a miss. Another good fastball from Griesbach. Her third strikeout of the game and the first out of the inning.
Now batting for Newman, number 14, Brooke Thiel.
And now the number 9 hitter, shortstop Brooke Thiel, will come to the plate for the Cards. Here's the rock and the pitch. Fastball just a tad low for ball 1. Walking to the back of the circle for a moment is Morgan Griesbach. One-0. Swing and a miss. Boy, she really does fire that ball. Pops into the mid of Danica Blomberg. 0-2. I should say 1-1. Griesbach. Swing and a miss, and that is strike 2. 1 ball and 2 strikes. One ball, 2 strikes, 1 out. Griesbach again is ready. Here's the line and the pitch. Swing and a miss. So back-to-back Ks for the Auburndale right-hander to start off the Cardinal third.
Now batting, number 10, Maddie Jankowski.
Back to the top of the order for the Cards, and Maddie Jankowski. She hit the ball hard her first time up. Shortstop Grimm could not handle it, so Jankowski reached on an air. Here's the pitch. Up and out of the strike zone for ball 1. Again, our next high school sports broadcast here on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel will be on Thursday. I'll be at Wausau West. Warriors will host DC Everest in a Wisconsin Valley Conference matchup. 4:15 airtime, 4:30 for the first pitch. 1-0. Fastball off the outside corner for ball 2. Maddie Jankowski reaches base. Brianna Schultz due up next. Two balls, no strikes, 2 outs, and the pitch. Fastball catches the inside corner for strike 1 called. Left-handed batter settles back in. Jankowski waits. Here's the pitch. Towards the end of the bat, off the fence near the third base dugout, and the count evens up at 2-2. Number 10 on the back of the jersey for Maddie Jankowski. Back into the batter's box. Taking her time in the circle is Morgan Griesbach. Now she's ready. 2-2. So good eye that time by Jankowski. That was a close pitch on the outside part of the plate. Just off the corner. The count runs full, 3-2. There's nothing you can do with that pitch. So it's really a smart play by Jankowski. And now the count runs full. And the pitch. There is a ground ball into left field for a base hit. Taking it the other way is Jankowski for a 2-out single. And that will bring up Brianna Schultz.
Now batting for Newman, number 6, Brianna Schultz.
Jankowski swinging the bat well here today. Brianna Schultz hit it right on the screws her first time up. A line drive to the second baseman, Dalen Blomberg. But Blomberg made the grab and then doubled off Jankowski at first. Schultz really could not have hit the ball much better that first time up in the first inning. Here is the pitch. Swing and a miss again. Getting that little bit of extra on that fastball was Morgan Griesbach, and it's 0-1. Giesbach taking a moment. Now toes the rubber, has the target. 0-1. Another fastball right down the chute for strike 2 called. It's always interesting to see the in-between pitch routine of some of these throws, especially the better throwers. Sometimes it's very, very quick. Sometimes they take a little bit more time. 0-2. Pitch is down low. Runner on the move. Down the second. And out trying to steal is Jankowski. Good throw by Danica Blomberg. The pitch just missed. It was called ball. And then Jankowski, trying to get into scoring position, is thrown out at second base. So that will do it for the Cards in the third. No runs on a base hit. There were no errors and nobody left on base. End of 3 here from Sunnyvale Softball Complex. It is Auburndale 8, Newman Catholic nothing. Back in a moment. This is Newman Catholic High School Softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Not too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun. Not too early to start things.
And back here at Sunnyvale as we head to the top of the 4th inning. It is 8-0 Auburndale with the lead. Eagles coming to the plate in the top of the 4th. It will be the 4, 5, and 6 hitters. Maya Katzenberger, Chesney Nagel, and Jalen Shearer against Cardinal pitcher Maddie Jankowski. Actually, let's...
For Newman, we have 9 coming in for 8. And then for Auburndale, number 4 is coming in for number 2.
Well, we have a new right fielder for the Cards. So in right field here for the Cardinals now, replacing Anna Carlson will be
For the Eagles, number 13, Maya Katzenberger.
Isabel Sherry. So Isabel Sherry will go into right field for the Cards. So now we're ready to go. And first pitch going right towards Isabel Sherry. She goes back and just out of her reach. And that ball will go all the way to the fence. Rounding first, heading to second base, and staying right there for the Eagles is Maya Katzenberger. So I can't mention Sherry gets out there and right away got on her horse to try and chase that one down.
Number 5, Chesney Nagel.
So a runner on second on the first pitch of the top of the 4th inning. Well hit ball the other way from Katzenberger. Now Chesney Nagel will step in for the Eagles. Pitch is a little bit up, taken for ball 1. Jankowski to the plate. Drops low and inside, gets away from the catcher, and advancing 60 feet to third base will be Katzenberger. So runner on third, nobody out here for the Eagles. 2 balls and no strikes on Chesney Nagel. Jankowski fires. Chop foul, third base side. That's strike 1. Again, thanks to Cloverbell Credit Union, our first sponsor. And been wonderful to work with CCU over the years and the broadcast on the radio. Now they've said they're willing to support my new venture, and I'm very, very appreciative of that. So please, if you have an opportunity, do your banking with CCU Cloverbell Credit Union. Pitch is at the bottom of the strike zone on the outer portion for a called strike 2. Two balls and 2 strikes on Nagel. Here's the pitch. There's a liner pull foul, third base side. I hope you're enjoying this added video stream of our broadcast. And again, hoping to be able to bring you a lot of Wausau West and Newman Catholic sports as we really build into it. The hope is to have a pair of units to go around and have one of each for almost every game. There's a swing and a foul tip. We'll do it again at 2-2. But only can do that with your support. So again, if you're somebody that would like to get some further information on advertising, just go to my new website at wausauareasports.com. Go down to the contact area, put in your information, and I'll be reaching out to you. 2-2. There's a looping liner into left field for a base hit. That will bring in Katzenberger and make it 9-0 Auburndale.
Ready for the Eagles, number 4, Alexis Goddard.
We'll get a pinch hitter here now for the Eagles. Alexis Goddard will bat in the place of Jalen Scher. Right-handed batter. Pitch is inside, goes all the way to the backstop. That will allow Nagel to advance to second base. Jankowski rubbing up that softball on the right hip and now look in for the target. 1-0. Bounces in there. A nice stop made behind the plate by Brianna Schultz. Count is 2-0. Something we talked about in the pregame as well. I'll mention again here in a moment. But first, the 2-0 pitch. Low and inside, goes to the backstop. That will allow Nagel to advance to third. But one of the challenges for a team like Newman, the smallest school in the Merriwood South, play a lot of D4 competition, is you play this really good competition in the regular season, and then you get to the postseason, those Division 5 squads who have not played the same level. You do have, of course, Assumption in D5, but a lot of the other smaller schools, as the 3-0 is in there for strike 1, don't play the level of competition, and that often turns into a big edge for the Cardinals once the playoffs do get underway. And as I said to the coach in the pregame show, that is still a long way off, so a lot to go through here in the next couple of months. And there's a foul tip on the 3-1, and the count runs full, 3 balls and 2 strikes. Full count, 3 balls and 2 strikes here on Goddard. Jankowski's ready. Here's the payoff pitch. There's a ground ball, third base side, picked up by Keene. She'll fire across in time. Run will come in and score. 5-3 on the putout, but an RBI for Alexis Goddard, and it's now 10-0.
Ready for the Eagles, number 9, Dalen Blomberg.
That will bring up Dalen Blomberg, second baseman, who is 1 for 2. Pitch is outside, taken for ball 1. Well, a couple of drops again, but we've only had a few drops of rain. Nothing that's caused any issue here today. There's a grounder again, third base side, Maddie Keene. Throws it a little bit too high, not able to bring it in, was Molly Merrill. So about to say about how solid Maddie's been, but that throw a little bit off target. and that will allow the runner to reach base safely.
Now batting number 6, Grace Schulte.
Grace Schulte will now step in for the Eagles. It's been a pretty clean game. Early in the season, you don't have a lot of outdoor activity here early on. Scoring a bunt, coming up empty, runner on the move. Throw down to second, but late. So a stolen base for Blomberg. But as I was saying, so often early in the season, you have these games that basically can get very ugly because teams have not had a lot of chance to be out of doors. But this one's been pretty clean. Again, just a little bit of rain. Cannot get this equipment wet as the pitch is in there for a called strike 2. No balls and 2 strikes. Grace Schulte, who walked and scored in the second, grounded back to the pitcher in the third. Strike 3 called. A good fastball at the top of the zone, and that is the second out of the inning. Runner on second. And a pinch hitter here for the Eagles is Lily Belanti. Actually, just a switch. She's
Now batting number 22, Lily Belanti.
She was the flex player, and she's replacing the designated player in the batting order. So basically in her own spot. And there's a pop-up over the dugout on the first base side, out of play. Strike 1. Right-handed batter. Target is set again by Brianna Schultz. Maddie Jankowski's pitch. Hard grounder between third and short into left field for a base hit. Rounding third, here comes the runner, and it'll be no play at the plate, cut off. Now a throw down to second, and not able to hold on at the bag is Claire Bodenheimer, and the runner slides in safely. So it'll be an RBI single for Belanti. Goes to second on the throw.
Ready for Auburndale, number 11, Morgan Griesbach.
So an RBI single for Belanti. Scores Blomberg, and now back to the top of the order. And the other, actually, no, not the other Blomberg. It's Morgan Griesbach at the plate. There's a roller pull foul third base side. See why this Auburndale team expected to be among the challengers at the top of the Merriwood Conference South this season. When you have a solid pitcher and some good hitting, that's a good combination. Hard grounder goes off the left foot of Maddie Keene, and that'll be an infield single. Boy, that ball was hit on the screws by Griesbach. Trying to get over was Keene, and the ball actually went off the foot of Maddie Keene towards shortstop.
Now batting number 7, Really Grimm.
So that is the third base hit of the game for Morgan Griesbach. She's now 3 for 4. Runners on the corners and 2 outs for Breely Grimm. Grimm has a couple of base hits. She is 2 for 3. A couple of singles and a pair of RBI. So trying to get out of this frame with no further damage right now is Maddie Jankowski and the Cards. The right-hander toes the rubber, has the target. Here's the pitch. Low and inside, runner off of first, and stopping and going back will be Griesbach. One ball and no strikes. Taking her time in the circle is Jankowski. Now she's ready. Here's the pitch. A little bit up and out of the zone. Runner will break, and that's actually a courtesy runner. That is not Griesbach. That's Ella Weichelt, freshman, who will go into second on catcher's indifference. Two and nothing. 2 outs. Runners on second and third. Again, staring from the right-handed sophomore. Here's the pitch. Ground ball towards shortstop. Brooke Thiel. Long throw across, on target in time. 6-3 on the putout, and that will do it for the Eagles in the top of the 4th inning. 3 runs in the frame. 3 runs on 4 base hits. There was an error and a couple of runners left on base. End of 3.5. It is Auburndale 11, Newman Catholic nothing. This is Cardinal Softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel. Wausau Area Sports is more than play-by-play broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Go to wausauareasports.com for the latest news and information involving our high school sports teams, including Wausau West, Newman Catholic, DC Everest, Wausau East, Marathon, Mosinee, and more. It's all at wausauareasports.com. Also, you can contact us there. If you have story ideas or questions, just go to wausauareasports.com and to the contact section. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the latest information on where we are and what we're covering. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well so you miss none of the action. Wausau Area Sports on YouTube, at wausauareasports.com, on Facebook and Instagram. The Wausau area's newest source for information and play-by-play of high school sports. Wausau Area Sports.
Leading off the fourth for Newman, number 6, Brianna Schultz.
And Brianna Schultz, who was at the plate when the last inning came to an end as Maddie Jankowski was caught attempting to steal. Schultz will lead things off. Schultz is 0 for 1. She lined it hard into a double play. A line drive that was caught by the second baseman, but again, a ball that was hit as hard as he possibly could hit it. Here comes the first pitch of the inning. There's a looper towards right. They'll drop in for a base hit. So not hit as well, but it found some green grass in right field. And a leadoff single for the Cards in the bottom of the fourth.
Batting for Newman, number 13, Maddie Keene.
And now Maddie Keene, who is 1 for 1. She singled her first time up back in the first inning. First pitch, a swing and a miss for strike 1. That was the second base knock of the game for the Cards off of Morgan Griesbach. The junior right-hander's ready. Here's the rock and the pitch. Swing, foul tip, held on to by the catcher, Danica Blomberg. And the count goes to 0-2. Taking her time again in the circle is Griesbach. Moves around some of the wet dirt right behind the pitcher's mound, and now she's ready. Here's the pitch. There's a looping liner, grabbed in foul territory by Lily Belanti. Actually, they moved Brenna Thiel over to first base now and able to make that grab.
Ready for Newman, number 11, Molly Merrill.
And up next for the Cards will be their cleanup hitter, first baseman Molly Merrill. Molly hit a ground ball that was deflected by the pitcher, Griesbach, picked up by Dalen Blomberg at second, who fired to first to get her by half a step in her one at-bat. Pitch rises up and out of the strike zone for ball 1. One ball and no strikes. Here's the pitch. Good fastball in the outer portion of the plate from Griesbach, and that's called strike 1. One ball, one strike, and one out. Here's the pitch. There's a little pop-up behind second base. Going back and making the grab is Dalen Blomberg for out number 2.
Batting for Newman, number 5, Claire Bodenheimer.
Up next for the Cards will be their number 5 hitter, the second baseman, Claire Bodenheimer. Sophomore right-handed batter steps in. Here's the pitch. Good cut, follows it back to the screen for strike 1. These teams will meet again on Friday over in Auburndale. No balls and 1 strike. And the pitch. Foul tip. Goes off the catcher, then off the backstop. And it's 0-2. So 2 outs, runner on first. We're playing the bottom half of inning number 4. Cardinals trail the Auburndale Eagles by a score of 11-0. Here's the pitch. Just missing on a fastball is Griesbach, and that's ball 1. Again, they had that pop into the mid of the catcher, Blomberg. The junior's ready. Here's the pitch. Misses low and outside, and the count runs even. 2 balls and 2 strikes. If Claire Bodenheimer can reach base, Lillian Bodenheimer would hit next for the Cards. 2-2 pitch. Check swing, but that'll be called for strike 3. So a strikeout ends the Cardinal 4th. No runs on 1 base hit in the inning. No errors and 1 runner left on base. We have played 4. It is Auburndale 11, Newman Catholic nothing. This is Cardinal Softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for kids, teens, or young adults. It's just not.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your lungs.
And dangerous things like metals and volatile organic compounds into your body.
And nicotine, the same highly addictive substance found in regular cigarettes.
Nicotine can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s.
Affecting learning, memory, attention, and impulse control, and priming the brain for other addictions.
Vaping products also come in kid-friendly flavors that can make them appealing to youth.
And many kids also use other drugs, like marijuana, in vaping devices.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media,
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping, because when you talk, they hear you.
And Chad Holmes again here from Sunnyvale as we head to the top of the 5th inning. Auburndale coming to the plate, leading the Cards by a score of 11-0. Again, don't forget that we'll have a write-up on this one and the other high school action going on around central Wisconsin. I know there's been some postponements, but there's still plenty of action involving Wausau area high school sports. So again, check out wausauareasports.com for the latest sports rundowns for our area high school athletes. Also, check out wausauareasports.com for the upcoming broadcast schedule, the play-by-play. And really looking forward to growing this operation, and glad you could be with us. If you have not already done so, please hit the subscribe button as you watch here on the stream. That way you won't miss any of the action. Danica Blomberg, number 3 hitter, catcher, steps in. She has walked twice and hit into a fielder's choice. First pitch is in there for strike 1 called. Oh, 1 off the outside corner. Even things up at a ball and a strike. Cards 1-1 on the early season, while the Eagles come in at 3-1. Cardinals beat Elko last week and also fell to Athens. Pitch is low and inside. 2 balls and a strike. Maya Katzenberger waits on deck for the Eagles. Chesney Nagel will hit third. There's a roller right to the third baseman. Pick again, across by Maddie Keene in time. 5-3 on the put-up. Boy, it's been a very busy spot at third base today for Maddie Keene, and she's played some solid softball for the Cards.
Now batting number 13, Maya Katzenberger.
1 out, nobody on base for the third baseman, Maya Katzenberger. She singled and scored in the first. Reached on a fielder's choice, scored in the second, and there's a ground ball towards second base. Claire Bodenheimer will pick, flip the first in time. 4-3 on the put-out. Out number 2.
Batting for the Eagles, number 5, Chesney Nagel.
Maya Katzenberger is now 2 for 4 today. And that will bring up Chesney Nagel, who is 1 for 2 and has also walked, had an RBI, and scored a run. Ground ball, third base side, pull foul. Strike one. Looking for a 1-2-3. Top of the 5th is Maddie Jankowski in the circle for the Cards. The sophomore right-hander toes the rubber, deals. Ground ball, shortstop backhanded, but not able to bring it in. Was Brooke Thiel, goes into short left field, and that'll be a base hit. So Nagel on first with 2 outs for Alexis Goddard.
Number 4, Alexis Goddard.
Jankowski fires. Off the inside corner. Maybe a tad down. Ball 1. $11-0 lead for Auburndale, top of the 5th. Pitch, fastball, misses up and away for ball 2. And I said this earlier, I think the last inning. The scoreboard is not pretty right now for the Cards, but I still think they're playing some solid ball. It's a very good opponent right here. And again, you're trying to build at this point of the season, try to build each and every week. There's a little looper over the pitcher, charging his Theo, cannot make the play. Oh, almost a nice stretch by Claire Bodenheimer at second. Tried to grab it, hold the bag, and get the force play, but beating it was Nagel, and all hands are safe.
At the play, number 9, Dalen Blomberg.
So Alexis Goddard will get an infield single, puts runners on first and second for Dalen Blomberg, the second baseman. Ground ball in the hole between short and third into left field for a base hit. Runner around third. Throw will come into third. It'll be an RBI single for Blomberg as Nagel scores to make it 12-0.
Now batting for the Eagles, number 6, Grace Schulte.
2-out rally here for Auburndale in the top of the 5th. And now Grace Schulte, left-handed batter, will step in. Pitch is a little bit low for ball 1. Runners wait. Here's the pitch. That will catch the outside corner at the bottom of the zone for a called strike 1. One ball, 1 strike, 2 outs. Runners on first and second. Here's Jankowski's pitch. Just getting a piece of it was Schulte, and that'll be strike 2. Cloverville Credit Union since 1936. Local lenders lending local money, keeping our community strong. Now open in Mosinee. Visit CCU's new branch in the Bayman Professional Building across from the Mosinee Airport. 1 ball and 2 strikes. Wide open stand for the left-handed box for Schulte. Runner on the move as the pitch just off the corner and into third without a throw will be Goddard. I think everybody was waiting to see whether or not it would be a called strike 3. It was not, and the count is 2-2. Two-two pitch. Inside for ball 3. So a full count here on Grace Schulte. She's walked and scored, grounded back to the pitcher, and struck out looking. Here's the payoff. Liner off the mid of Keene into left field for a base hit. 1 run will come in and score. Heading to third, here comes the throw, and sliding in safely will be Blomberg. So an RBI single for Grace Schulte. Makes it 13-0.
Now batting number 22, Lily Belanti.
So bottom of the order doing the job here in this frame for Auburndale. And now Lily Belanti, who had an RBI single in her only at-bat in the 4th, will step in. Jankowski's pitch. Ground ball towards short. Teal will make the pick. She'll fire across in time. 6-3 on the putout, and the inning will come to an end. For the Eagles in the fifth, after 2 are out, they got 13. Newman Catholic, nothing. This is Cardinal Softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
When it comes to vaping, the truth can get clouded. So let's make it clear. Vaping is not safe for kids, teens, or young adults. It's just not.
Because vaping can put microscopic particles into your...
Nicotine can harm a person's brain development through their mid-20s,
affecting learning, memory, attention, and impulse control, and priming the brain for other addictions.
Vaping also use other drugs, like marijuana, in vaping devices.
With appealing flavors, high nicotine levels, and lots of promotion on social media.
Many kids think vaping is harmless, but it's not.
So talk to your kids about the risks of vaping.
Bottom half of inning number 5 here from Sunnyvale. Pinch hitter.
Number 3, Lillian Bodenheimer.
Oh, actually, nope. Lillian Bodenheimer will lead things off here for the Cards. First pitch is fouled off to the first base side for strike 1. Lillian, the senior of the Bodenheimers. Claire, the sophomore. Nothing in 1. Morgan Griesbach, toes, winds, deals. Another foul ball off the front foot. Box, it is nothing in 2. But I was again saying it. And again, you may think I'm just blowing smoke, but I really don't think so. I just think that this is the kind of game that ultimately is going to help the Cards. They're facing a very good pitcher. It's going to lift them. One ball, 2 strikes. Morgan Griesbach toes the rubber. She rocks, she deals. Pulling it foul is Bodenheimer. We'll do it again at 1-2. Ball and 2 strikes. It's brightened up just a shade. It's still overcast. It's been overcast throughout the course of the afternoon. Seen a couple of drops of rain, but nothing significant. Just missing on that fastball. And the count evens up at 2-2. Right on top of the plate is Lillian Bodenheimer. She waits for Morgan Griesbach. 2-2. There's a little roller back to the pitcher. Grab and a fire to first by Griesbach to 1-3 on the putout for the first out of the inning.
Batting for Newman, number 7, Wildfire Allery.
Wildfire Allery will get her first AB of the game. Sophomore for the Cards, right-handed batter. Fastball just off the outside corner for ball 1.
Nice on. Here we go, Wildfire. No speed now. Quick hands. Through the ball.
Been a rock-solid performance in the circle for Auburndale starting pitcher Morgan Griesbach. The junior fires. Check swing, but a called strike, and the count evens at 1-1. One ball, 1 strike, 1 out. Outfield playing slightly to go the other way. Here's the pitch. Swing and a miss. Count goes to 1-2. Danica Blomberg behind the plate will put down the sign and set the target. Griesbach winds and deals. Swing and a miss, strike 3. That's out number 2. 6 strikeouts in the game for Morgan Griesbach.
Ready for Newman, number 9, Izzy Sherry.
And Isabel Sherry, who came on to play right field in the last inning, will now step into the left-handed batter's box. Swing and a miss, strike 1. In addition to the 6 strikeouts, just as impressive for Morgan Griesbach, she has not walked anybody. And that's, again, one of the keys for anybody in the circle. Cannot afford to give away those free passes. Ooh, fouled off to the first base side. Off the fence, just to the right of the dugout. Count 0-2. Smile on the face of the pitcher, Morgan Griesbach, as she puts her face mask back on. She'll toe the rubber and look in for the sign and the target. Here's the 0-2. Off the outside corner on a fastball. Count now 1-2. Little shake of the head from Morgan Griesbach, and now she's ready. The right-hander fires. Strike 3 called. Strikeout number 7 for Morgan Griesbach, and that will do it. It'll be a 10-run rule after 5 innings for the Cards in the 5th. No runs on no hits, no errors, and nobody left on base. So Auburndale improves to 4-1 overall, 1-0 in the Merriwood Conference South Division, defeating the Cards, who are now 1-2 and 0-1 by a score of 13-0. We'll come back, have our post-game show coming up next. This is Newman Catholic High School softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.
Too early to start thinking boats. Once the season starts, you want to be ready. So, what's your boat? A boat for fishing, boat for skiing, a pontoon boat for partying? Or are you thinking personal watercraft? Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union, the leader in financing fun. Great rates, great service, great fun. Local lenders lending local money. Quick and easy loan approval. It's the way financing should be. Stop in and visit with a CCU lender even before you hit the marina. CCU can set you up with a great rate financing approval, so when you find your boat, you're ready to float. The season's just too short not to enjoy every moment you can on the water. Check it out and stop in. Call or apply online at ccuwausau.com. Whatever floats fun for you, remember CCU. That's Clover Belt Credit Union. We finance fun.
Wausau Area Sports is more than play-by-play broadcasts on our YouTube channel. Go to wausauareasports.com for the latest news and information involving our high school sports teams, including Wausau West, Newman Catholic, DC Everest, Wausau East, Marathon, Mosinee, and more. It's all at wausauareasports.com. Also, you can contact us there. If you have story ideas or questions, just go to wausauareasports.com and to the contact section. Also, follow us on Facebook and Instagram for the latest information on where we are and what we're covering. And of course, don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel as well, so you miss none of the action. Wausau Area Sports on YouTube, at wausauareasports.com, on Facebook and Instagram. The Wausau area's newest source for information and play-by-play of high school sports. Wausau Area Sports. Chad Holmes again here from Sunnyvale as we see the Newman Catholic softball team fall to the Auburndale Eagles today by a score of 13-0. Just to recap what we saw, Auburndale in the top of the first inning would push 3 runs across. An RBI single by Braley Grimm would score Morgan Griesbach to make it 1-0. And then we add a couple of more runs in the frame, and it was 3-0. Then in the second, 4 runs were scored by Auburndale. A 2 RBI double by Morgan Griesbach was the big blow in that frame. It was 7-0 at the end of an inning and a half. Then in the third, an RBI single by Braley Grimm would push a run across, make it 8-0. In the fourth, an RBI single by Chesney Nagel, also an RBI ground ball by Alexis Goddard, and an RBI single by Lily Bellanti would make it 11-0. And then in the fifth, an RBI single by Dalen Blomberg and an RBI single by Grace Schulte would finish off the scoring. 13-0 Auburndale with the victory. As I said, Auburndale now is 4-1 overall. They are 1-0 in the Merriwood Conference South Division. And Newman Catholic is 1-2 overall. And the Cardinals are now 0-1 in the conference. Thanks again for joining us. Thanks to the Clover Belt Credit Union, our sponsor of today's broadcast. And again, if you're somebody that would like to help with our broadcast, please, again, reach out at wasaareasports.com. Go to the contact area and just send me a note, and I'll be able to get in contact with you. If you have any other thoughts on the broadcast as well, feel free to go to that contact page as well. I am Chad Holmes from Sunnyvale Softball Complex. Again, the final score: Auburndale 13, Newman Catholic nothing. Thanks for joining us for Newman Catholic High School Softball on the Wausau Area Sports YouTube channel.